What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about moment.js, which is a time formatting library, and we're going to be incorporating mustache.js, which is a template engine, into our project. Now, I did say we're going to be styling, but I was thinking about it. I was marinating in that thought, and I said to myself, that's not really JavaScript or Node.js based, so we should probably skip that. And yeah, it is true, guys. Self was right. It's not JavaScript based, so that's why we're going to be skipping it. But I did style it for you guys, so that way you just go in there. If you want to style it yourself, just mess around with the CSS or add new components. You can do whatever you want. But I've already styled it. I took the liberty, I took time to style it for you guys, so you are welcome. All right? You're welcome. But guys, we're going to be focusing on moments and mustache.js. So let's get right into the video. So let's talk a little bit about moment. I'm gonna actually open up their doc so that way we could actually see what they're all about. Moment.js. It's not that, sorry. Moment.js right here. Moment.js home right here. We're going to see some examples and then what exactly it could do for us. So moment, you could create timestamps with it, and you could also format it. Now, if you ever messed around with the date object, the date function or method for pure JavaScript, you know it's an extreme hassle to actually format it the way you want it. Moment makes it extremely easy for us to do that. As you see right here, this example, you're going to get the month, the whole month, the days of years, hours, minutes, seconds, and A stands for AM, PM. And you see right here, this is what it's going to spit out. January 11th, 2019, 9:51 and 26 seconds. It keeps on adding up. You can also get the day of it, Friday. You could do it so many ways, guys. Like down here, calendar time. It'll give you the calendar time. Multiple local support where it gives you just like so, like this. It makes it so much easier on us, guys. And that's why we're going to be using it. So let's get started. All right, in our app, we're going to npm I install moment. We're going to install that right now. Awesome. And we're going to require it. I already did it. I was testing it out. Obviously, you do have to test out your code. I already installed it, but just require it, guys. And down here, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to create our new timestamp. Let me get another one right here. Right here and right here. So we're going to get rid of those two, and we're going to just replace it with moment dot value. This will create a timestamp for us, guys. It is exactly the same thing as we had before, which is new date.getTime. Exactly the same thing. This is the only thing we're going to be messing around with in message.js and our server side, okay? And we can actually test it out if everything's still okay by doing npm test and everything is passing. Awesome. Now we do got to mess around with index.js and this message object. Remember, we did set a created at property that takes in the time, and with moment we're going to be able to format it here. All right, that's why we're going to be using moment. But since index.js lives in the client side, we do need to add moment in our client side. So there's two ways of doing this. You could actually get a CDN on the internet, or you could actually go into node modules, and the JS file is already in there. Let me see. Node modules. Where's the moment? It's alphabetical order, so moment right here, and here it is, moment.js. You can just copy this. See, it's all our functionality for moment. It's a big file. Look at this scroll bar, it's so tiny. It's just a file of all our functions. You just copy it, get rid of that, and inside our public JS, we're gonna create a libs folder. Let me. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Where is it at? Desktop, chat, public, libs. Get rid of this. All right. I just got rid of it so that way we can start from scratch where we started. Inside our JS file, we're going to create a new folder called libs. And this is where we're going to be storing our third-party modules. And inside libs, we're obviously going to paste in our moment.js file, which is right there. Now that we have it in our script, we do need to get it inside our index.html. So in here, down below, we're going to get our JS. It lives inside libs. And it's called moment.js. Control save or command save, whatever. And then we're going to do node.mon. We're going to test it out in our client side. So that way, so we can see if we actually have it in our client side. Node.mon server/server JS. All right. Let's go in here. Localhost 3000. Oh, and this is a new styled application. Don't worry, guys. This is how it's going to look like. But style it the way you want to, guys. I'm pretty sure you have better visual than I do. I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but this is the best I could come up with. So inspect the element, go to console, and we're going to just do moment dot format, just like that. And it's working in our client side. We got our timestamp back. Awesome. Now that we know that it's working, in here we're gonna go. What? We're going to be messing around in index.js. We're gonna actually be messing around in here, grabbing our created at. We haven't incorporated created at property in here anywhere in our new message or new location message. So we're going to be doing that right now. So inner text right here in front of the from, we want the timestamp. So $, curly braces, message dot created at. Control save. Now refresh the page. See right there? There's our timestamp. What? But we do got to format it. So what we're going to pass in here instead, we're going to actually create a variable. So const formatted time, I think I spelled that right, equals moment. And we're going to pass in the, we're going to create one right here, moment, or we're going to actually pass it in the timestamp that we just created. We're going to pass this in, and then we're going to format it. Format, and let's take a look at their library or doc so we can see how or what we want it to look like. Now we have several options here. We could actually have the whole date and, you know, but I don't want that. I just want the time. We could have it this way or this way. Let's do with LT. Let's do LT. And copy this. Instead of passing in message created at, we're going to pass in formatted time. Control save. Now you refresh the page. We get admin 9:57 a.m., which it is right now. Awesome, but we're not done yet, because if you send a location, you don't get nothing. You don't even get it from the user or admin. So let's do that. I'm actually going to copy this because it's going to be exactly the same thing. And down below, we're going to set the inner text, li inner text. We don't have a, or we do have from, but we don't have the text. What we do have is a URL, but we don't have it in here. We already have it in here, so I'm just going to get rid of this and just leave it like that. Now you refresh the page, send location, allow access. Oh, formatted time is not defined. That's correct, because we didn't create our variable down there. So let's copy this, paste it down here, copy, save that, refresh. And now we have our timestamp for current location as well. So that's I'm telling you guys, it's really easy to actually format our times with Moment, and you should start using it. It's a pretty popular library that everybody uses. All right, now that we got Moment down, let's talk about Mustache.js. Now it's a template engine where we're gonna create a a custom script with HTML inside of that script. But you know, in here, this is how we're doing things now. We're creating our elements, we're actually putting it in, and we're telling it where to append the child, where to actually put that element in. It's just a hassle, guys. Like, if you want to scale this up and you want to start adding more things and you want to append a child before this A or after this A or 2 lines before or something like that, just keep on. It's gonna be more code than what it needs to be. Template engines allow us to just create a HTML reference or HTML template and then inject data into that template. You'll see once we get into it. But first, we do need to install mustache.js because we're going to be using it in our client side. So, Mustache JS, the first one right here, the GitHub. And the file that you want is this Mustache.js right here. Now, right click, or not right click, go to raw first, and then right click. We're going to save page as. We're going to save this JavaScript, this functionality of Mustache.js in our libs folder, which is right here. What is already there? All right, so save it, minimize it. If you go inside libs, we do have our mustache right here. Now we do gotta incorporate it in our index.html. So d libs mustache, control save. Now we have mustache. Now it's time to create a template. All right, the way we do that, it's literally inside of the script tag. So in a script tag, it's not going to be text. The type is going to be text, but it's not going to be JavaScript. It's actually going to be a template. So template. Now in here, we're going to create, our template. Right now, I'm just testing it out. So I'm going to just enter a p tag or a paragraph tag and say this is a paragraph. Control save. Now we got to render this in our HTML. Okay. I am going to add an ID so that way we could actually target it. So I'm going to give this an ID of message dash template. So that way we grab it in our index.js. Now in here, this is where we're going to render our template. Still in our client side, we're going to render it right here. So we're going to play around with it. I'm going to just get rid of all of this right now. And then on top, let's try to render it, okay? So we're going to create a variable, const, called template. And we're going to target that script tag with the ID of message template. So document dot query selector, and it's the ID of this. And we're gonna grab we don't want to grab this script, this whole script. We just want to grab the HTML inside of it. Okay, so we're gonna just grab that and we're gonna call inner HTML like that, just like that. I think it's capitalized. I'm not too sure. I think it is inner HTML, inner text. I can't remember if it's lowercase or capitalized, but we will find out once I get an error. Now we're gonna actually render this. So we just grab the script or whatever's inside the script, and we're gonna render the inner HTML into our index.html. So create another variable. We're gonna call this HTML because it's literally the HTML we're gonna render out. So HTML is gonna equal to mustache dot render. Now this looks extremely similar because I did do a video. If you keep up with my videos, I did do a video about template engines, and render is literally going to render out the template that we want to render, which we got right here. We got the template right here. So we want to render out template. Okay. Now we do need to append this template or apply it, but since we're using JavaScript, guys, this inner HTML is literally gonna come back as a string, and you'll see in a bit. Watch. So we're gonna append it So I'm just grab this, and we're gonna append this, the rendered HTML. So HTML, like that. Control save. Now if we refresh our, sorry, it's not append child, it's append. Control save. Append child is literally if it's an HTML, if it's HTML formatted. Now, when you use inner HTML, it returns a string, and that's why we get a string back. And this is not the only problem. Every time we do something new, it keeps on appending that one thing. But we don't want this. We don't want it to look like that. We want it to look like, like we had it before. So the way we do that is we literally have to create a variable. So we're going to create an element. So const div is going to equal to document dot create element, and we're going to create a div element, and then down below we're going to call it out. We're going to call this div, and we're going to give it the inner HTML, and we're going to set that equal to the HTML we got here. Now this, since this HTML renders out a string like this, well, what this does when we set it to inner HTML, we're actually setting it in a valued, not valued, but in the proper way HTML to the proper HTML. We're setting it to the proper HTML, not as a string anymore, but proper HTML. Now, if we render append div, and this time we do have to do child. I think we need the child. Let me see. Refresh. Now we get the same thing. This is a paragraph, and you keep on doing that. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Send. This is a paragraph. Awesome. So we got that set up, but now we gotta add all this functionality to it. So let's go back in here in our index.html and then change this a little bit. We don't want it to print this no more. We want it to print out the data that we send it. Okay, now, yeah, let's do the data first. So render, we're gonna render the template, and as our second argument, we're gonna want to pass the data that we want to pass to the HTML. We want to pass from, and it's gonna be from message dot from. We want to pass in the text, which is coming from message dot text, and we want to pass in created at, which is coming from message dot created at. But remember, this created at gives us this long number that doesn't really mean anything. We actually want to grab this line right here because we want to format that. Paste that right there, and then we're going to just pass in formatted time as our created at. Now, we're rendering this template, and we're also passing in data. So how do we get this data in our HTML? That's pretty easy, guys. That is extremely easy. But we're gonna first do our we're gonna create this HTML template. So we're gonna create an li, and we're gonna give this li a class of message. Now inside that li, we're gonna give it a div. Now that div is going to have a message or class called message underscore title. Now these classes are already predefined in the CSS that I've created. It's in here. So just use the ones that I'm using right now, or you're gonna download it, so it doesn't really matter. But they're already predefined. That's why I'm just telling you. We're gonna create an h4 right here. And we're going to pass in this h1, we're going to pass it who's it from. The way we get data back, or the way we display data, is literally two curly braces. So curly, and then from. And this from is we're getting it from the data we sent. So we sent in from text and created at. So we got the from. I'm going to add a span to that. And we're going to pass in here the created at, the time. And down below, get rid of that. I mean, getting outside of the div, we're going to create another div with a class of message __ body. And inside that this is where we're going to give the text, but inside of a p tag. And all we need to do is curly text, just like that. Now if you control save this, we should, well, it doesn't re-render, but go back in here, refresh the page, and we get admin at 1010, which it is 1010. Welcome to the chat app. Now we start adding stuff in. Send user, send location. We are gonna get our crappy little, because we haven't messed around with this yet. And I actually want you guys to do this on your own, since you already know how to do it. It's inside of, right, where is it at? I can actually get rid of all this. It's inside of new location message right here. I want you guys to do that for yourselves. I am going to do it. I just want you to try it out for yourselves. So let's get started. It's literally going to be the same thing as up here. So I'm going to just comment this out, and I'm going to reference it later on. And this first one, I'm going to uncomment because I do need that. I'm going to uncomment that too. No more creating. We're going to just render. So I'm going to just grab this, paste it, and we are going to create another script in here, because this script is solely for new message. Okay, we are going to create another one, another template, and this is going to give it an ID. This is going to be for location dash message template. Okay, and it's going to have the same body and same everything, but except for the only difference in here is this p tag. We don't have a text no more. We have a URL. Okay. So we need an anchor tag, which is the A. And we need to give it the href. No. Href is the where it's going to go. And we already know where it's going to go. And we're going to pass it in URL, because we're going to give it the data URL, which is going to store the URL they're going to go to. Target is _ blank. And what was the text that we added? My current location. Okay, my current location. So just by looking at this template, we know that we need to pass in data from created at and URL. Okay, so back in here, we got the from, we got the created at. We need to change this to URL and grab the message dot URL. And we got to do the same thing as right here. So I'm just copy this, paste it, get rid of all this, control save. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to control Z, because look at this. Look at this. Look how simple this is. We're just passing in data and then sending it out. Right here, you would have created it. You have to create another A tag. You have to put the inner text of the LI, set the attribute of target, set the attribute of href, inner text of A, and append it to the child. Like I said, if you wanted to append it somewhere else, then you're going to have to write JavaScript code or jQuery, whatever you want to use, and try to figure out where exactly to append it. If it's the grandchild of, or it's the ancestor, or I have no idea, but this makes it so much easier, because now we just set up a template and just passing data to it. So get rid of this, control save. I have no idea what's wrong with me. It's a good day today. I assume. And we're getting that. Now the location, and we get nothing. We don't get our URL. Where's our URL? Let me see here. Let me see. URL. Go back in here. Oh, right. Since we manipulated the index.js, we do need to restart our, I think it's that. I'm not too sure. Even though Nodeman restarts it. So why am I not getting my goddamn location? I'm not getting my location. All right, let me figure this out and I'll get back into you or into you. No, that's not correct. I'll get back to you. Yeah. Okay, there's nothing to get back to. I did figure it out. Just by when I ended that message. We actually get a new ID right here. This ID. We create a new ID. Oh, God, I can't believe I forgot about that. We do got to pass it in right here. Is this for you? Okay, yeah. Right here. Paste that. Save it. Okay, now send location. And there it is. Booyah. We have it. But now you could understand why using a template engine, it doesn't have to be Mustache. Like, there's a lot of them. EJS, Pug. There's a whole lot of them. But now you understand how using a template engine is much more convenient than actually trying to manipulate the DOM with, manipulating the DOM with JavaScript or jQuery. You just create your own template, dump data into it, and that's it. It's pretty much simple. It's dead simple. Anyways, guys, in the next video, we're going to be talking about auto-scrolling and adding a join page. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing, like or dislike. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about the video. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right. And if you're an advanced user, I'm making a, what's it called? A playlist for how to scale your application. Go check it out. I'll leave it in the info card up above. Just click the info card and check out the playlist. All right. Thanks.